Surah 34, As-Saba. By the one who is denoted by the name Allah, who created my being with his names in accord with the meaning of the letter B, the Rahman, the Rahim. Hamd be to Allah, to whom everything in the heavens, levels of consciousness, and earth, the body, belongs. And Hamd belongs to him in the eternal life to come as well. Who is the Hakim, the Kabir? He is the wise, the aware. He knows whatever goes into the earth, the body, and whatever comes forth from it, and whatever is disclosed from heaven, consciousness, and whatever dimensionally ascends to it. Who is the Rahim, the Ghafur? He's the merciful, the effacing. And remember, this translation is using who in certain cases, as certain texts in the East have I am it. Those who deny the knowledge of the reality say, the hour of death by which the reality will become apparent will not come to us. Say, no, I swear by my Rabb, the knower of the unknown, that it will indeed come to you. Not even an iota weight in the heavens and the earth is hidden from him. In fact, what is even smaller than that, or greater, are all in the clear book, the world of Acts, which is the manifest world. And this is so, that he may reward those who believe and fulfill the requisites of their faith. There is forgiveness for them and a generous sustenance of life. As for those who rush about to invalidate our signs, for them there is an intense suffering, filth, illusion. Those to whom the knowledge has been given know that what has been revealed to you is the truth itself, guiding to the reality of the one who is the Aziz, the Hamid, mighty, praiseworthy. Those who deny the knowledge of the reality say, shall we show you the man who claims to be a Nabi, exemplar prophet, and that you will be recreated in a new creation after completely disintegrating into dust and particles? Has he invented a lie about Allah, or is he afflicted with madness? On the contrary, those who do not believe in their eternal life to come are in suffering and a deviation that is extremely far from the reality. Did they not see what is before them and after them, past and future, of the heaven, consciousness, and earth, the body? If we should will, we could cause the earth to swallow them, drown them in corporeality by means of our names, or make fragments from the sky fall upon them, turn all their thoughts upside down. Indeed, there is a sign in this for every servant who turns to his reality. Indeed, we bestowed a favor upon David from us. We said, O mountains, beings with an ego, repeat my tasbih with him, and the birds, those who observe with the knowledge. And we softened belief in the reality for him, that which is sharp, iron bullet-like truth. Form an exquisite thought system to shield you and fulfill the requisites of your faith. Indeed, I am Basir, observing of what you do. And to Solomon we subjected that which moves like the wind, whose morning course was a month, and evening course a month. We caused a fount of copper to flow for him, and by the permissibility of his Rabb, some, the Ifrit type of the jinn, invisible beings, worked before him. And whoever abandons our command, we will make him taste the suffering of a scorching fire. If we consider this fount of copper in light of the molten copper Dhul-Qarnayn uses to build the set against the Gog and Magog, it becomes obvious that this is not in reference to a physical material situation in the general sense, but to something else altogether, also taking into account the fact that both Dhul-Qarnayn, one with double horns, or antennas perhaps, and Solomon had providence over invisible beings, approaching this not as the iron element per se, but the use of the force in its elemental composition may allow us to gain different perspectives. I do not wish to delve into this any further. Well, there's the literal reference and otherwise. They made for him, Solomon, whatever he desired: temples, statues, pools like reservoirs, and stationary vessels. Work for gratitude. True gratitude is the result of evaluation. O generation of David, so few of my servants are grateful, able to evaluate. When we commanded the tasting of death for him, Solomon, none made evident this truth to them, the jinn, and other than the worm that ate away at his staff. When finally his staff decomposed and he fell down, the Ifrit type jinn realized he had died. But if they knew that which is unknown to them, surely they would not have remained in such humiliating suffering. And I don't know of anything that says that this was limited to the Ifrit type of fire being, but indeed there is a sign for the people of Saba in their own dwellings, bodies. It is surrounded by 2 gardens, one on the right and one on the left. They were told, eat from the life sustenance of your Rabb and be thankful to him, a good land and a Ghafur Rabb, a facing Lord you have. But they turned away, so we let loose upon them the flood of the dam, and replaced their gardens with trees bearing bitter fruits and a few cedar trees. Thus we requited them because of their ingratitude. And this is the consequence of being ungrateful. We formed between them, the Sabaeans, and the towns in which we created abundance, other towns within observable distance to each other, and arranged trips between them. We said, travel safely therein, by night and by day. But they said, our Rabb, lengthen, expand the distance of our trips, and they wronged themselves. So we turned them into exemplary lessons in narrations and spread them in total dispersion. Certainly, there are signs in this for those who are patient and those who are grateful. Indeed, Iblis proved his assumption regarding man to be correct. Except for some of the believers, they all followed him. And yet he, Iblis, had no influential power over them at all. We only did this to reveal who really believes in their eternal life to come, and who is in doubt thereof. Your Rabb is Hafiz, preserving over all things. Say, go on, call upon those who you assume exist besides Allah. They to whom you give names have no sovereignty over anything, not even over an iota weight in the heavens or the earth. They to whom you give names have no share in either, nor does he have any supporter from among them. An intercession is of no benefit in his sight except for whom it has been permitted. And when finally the dread is removed from their consciousness, they say, what is the command of your Rabb? The truth. They will say, who is the Ali, the Kabir, the high, the majestic? Say, who provides your life sustenance? From the heavens and the earth, levels of consciousness and body. Say, Allah, indeed one of us is upon the reality, and the other in clear corruption. Say, neither will you be questioned of our crimes, nor us of your deeds. Say, our Rabb will assemble us, and then judge between us in truth. Separate those who are in the right from those who are in error. Who is the Fatah, the Alim, the opening, the knowing? Say, show me those partners whom you assume exist besides him. No, never. Who alone is Allah, who is the Aziz, the Hakim. He's the mighty, the wise. We disclosed you as a giver of good news and as a warner to all of mankind, but the majority of the people do not understand what this means. When will this promise regarding what will be experienced through death be fulfilled? Tell us, if you are the truthful. Say, there is a specified time for you, which you can neither postpone nor advance. Those who deny the knowledge of the reality say, never will we believe in this Quran, or in what has been notified to us before it. But if only you could see when the wrongdoers are made to stand before their Rabb, having realized their essential reality and their failure to evaluate it, while some blame the others. The feeble followers will say to their arrogant leaders, if it were not for you, we would surely have been of the believers. And the arrogant leaders say to the feeble followers, was it us who averted you from the reality that came to you? No, you are the guilty ones. And the feeble followers say to their arrogant leaders, no, you deceived us day and night. You commanded us to deny that Allah comprises our essential reality with His names and to ascribe partners to Him. But upon seeing the suffering, they try to hide their remorse, and we have formed chains around the necks of those who deny the knowledge of the reality, preventing them from turning away from the corporeality they've accepted. They are living the consequences of their own deeds. To whichever city we sent a warner, the spoilt, affluent ones therein said, indeed, we will not accept this knowledge of the reality sent through your Risala. And we are more powerful than you, both with our wealth and our offspring. We will not be subject to suffering. Say, indeed, my Rabb expands the life sustenance, provision for whom He wills, and constricts it for whom He wills. Wealth is not acquired, it is a bestowal by Allah, but the majority of the people do not know this truth. It is neither your wealth nor your offspring that can bring you nearer to us, the station of nearness, conscious application of the qualities of the names of Allah, but being a believer and fulfilling the requisites of your faith. For them, the rewards of their deeds will be multiplied manifold. They are safe within elevated stations. As for those who rush about to invalidate our signs, warnings, they will be held in constant suffering. Say, indeed, my Rabb expands the life sustenance, physical and spiritual nourishment, for whom He wills among His servants, and constricts it for whom He wills. If He gives something unrequitedly for the sake of Allah, He will replace it with something else. Who is the absolute Razak, the sustainer, with His sustenance? At that time, He will gather them all and say to His angels, was it only these who served you? The angels will say, Subhan, glory. It is you who are our guardian, not them. On the contrary, they used to worship the jinn. Most of them had believed in them as their gods. And that's the thing. Almost everything with this angel worship and whatnot stuff that people talk about nowadays, it's what you call the fallen angels, to use the English term. And that is the time during which no one can be of any benefit or harm to another. And to those who wrong themselves, we will say, taste the suffering of the very burning that you denied. And when our verses were openly recited to them, the wrongdoer said, this man intends to avert you from what your forefathers have been worshipping, and these are nothing but fabrication. When the truth came to those who denied the knowledge of the reality, they said, this is clearly magic, whereas we had not given them any information that they can use against you, for them to take a lesson, and we had not disclosed any warner to them before you either. But those before them had also denied a genetic attribute, while these have not even attained a tenth of what we had given them. Despite this, they denied our messengers. So look at the result of my denial of them. Say, I give you only one advice. Contemplate upon Allah either in pairs or individually. There is no madness in the one who is protecting you. He is only a warner to you before a severe suffering. Say, if I have asked for something in return, keep it. My payment is only from Allah, who is Shaheed over all things. He is witness. Say, indeed, my Rabb projects the truth in all its might. He is the knower of the unknown. Say, the truth has become evident. Falsity can neither create something new nor restore the old. Say, if I deviate from the right belief, this deviance will be from my consciousness, the misleading of my mind. But if I attain to the reality, this will be with what my Rabb reveals to me. Indeed, He is the Sami, the Qareeb, the hearing, the near. You should see them when they are in fear and terror. They have nowhere to run. They are seized from close by. They said, "We have believed in him as the one in our essence, but if that were really the case, how could they have fallen so far?" They had denied the reality before, indulging in conjectures about their unknown. Far from the reality, a barrier is put between them and their desires, as done in the past, to their like. Indeed, they are in a discomforting doubt